underway between Virginia and American. Again, the Patriot League colliding with the ACC. Virginia looking to build upon what has been a solid recent stretch, and we told you American trying to add to the streak in this one here tonight. Who's first look going to come from that corner, rims out on Valladay, but the Hoos will get a second chance look right away here.
London Clarkson with her hustle has been a real big factor during this 2-game win streak for Virginia.
Extended opening officials tonight in this one. Thomas Danaher, Keith Miller, Ashley Good, the three handling things from that responsibility. Here is American to work. Again, you certainly keep an eye. You key on Edwards wearing jersey number 10. She's the leader. Comes in with those 14 points per contest. First shot going to come from beyond the arc, and it is rattled down. Emily. Let's take a look at the lineup for UVA. And for Virginia, Coach, it really is a story of who's going to be that third scorer for Virginia moving forward.
Yeah, it's been several different people. Well, obviously, London Clarkson, Caden Lawson has been some. Meg Jefferson has played well off the bench. Who's going to step up and help? Twa and Taylor.
Taylor's going to be the lead scorer coming in, obviously, at 14.6 per contest for Virginia. Comes as no surprise that she has the first points of the night. And now Fisher looking for some open real estate. Brown had it in her hands just a moment, hit the first three of the contest. The lead American holding based upon that. And now down the lane goes Brown again, or Fisher again, excuse me, and it's after a solid trip down the floor. And, well, the combo of Twa and Taylor, you talk about that third individual, that next tier individual to step up for Virginia being the key storyline. Those two, with the consistency they have provided, certainly keying the recent, as we said, William and Mary GW success for UVA. Here's American, back up the floor with it. The usual lineup for American, this was the starting lineup each of the first 6 contests. The only departure was the last time out, and that was when Vresh was in the lineup in place of Stack. But Lawrence
off to a pretty good start defensively, and there you see Jade Edwards with a good attempt at the basket, taking the contact but couldn't finish. And we talked about Taylor Brown, made that first three. She's been playing really well the last few games, 30 and 14 in the last 2 wins.
And a beautiful feed to Fisher there, and that was exactly what they wanted, to get it into Edwards' hands off the inbound. Coach just wasn't quite able to finish.
Yeah, good execution that time, but again, Edwards is only 5'10", and sometimes she gets content to just run the offense.
Oh, beautiful cut to the basket, but even though another look was there for American, Fisher unable to finish this time around. And quickly Virginia in transition on the other end. Valladay's shot won't go. Heavy collision out top, and in the end it settles into the grasp of Clarkson once more. Here's Clarkson. She had ability to drive, but that was straight taken away by Fisher. What a feed, and lid on the bucket right now, Coach. Hard to get one to fall. Close proximity has been there for American.
Well, both teams,
but the bottom of the net has not.
Both teams have been well ahead on the defensive end this whole season, and they've been winning with defense despite not shooting the ball very well.
Boards cleaned up for American, this time by Brown. American leads to look no further than the last meeting between these two teams for confidence in terms of trying to play into the depths of this one with Virginia. It was a one-possession finish the last go-round between these two in Charlottesville. Knocked down by Brown from beyond the arc. Think about it. This is a team that, as we said, it's never picked up a road victory against a Power 5 opponent, but how close they were when these two teams got together in 18, Coach.
Yeah, and Coach Jebbia's offense is designed to get layups or threes, not much in between, and you see the three-point acumen of Brown and then Doring on the last possession.
Tried to get the feed in order, but just unable to side for American. It's kind of the story of the start, yet they find themselves up by 4.
Yeah, and both teams turning the ball over, and that's what they've done all year. Both of them averaging about 19 turnovers a game.
3 for Virginia in the last 3:04. And that's the scoring drought for UVA. Just that, 3 minutes, 4 seconds. That'll put a halt to it. as Virginia gets a 3 from Lawson. Becomes the first beyond Taylor to score on this night for UVA.
Lawson has really become a valuable sixth man because she can play any position from point guard to power forward, and she's really been contributing off the bench.
And contest Doring out top. Little stop and pop right at the top of the key that also will not go for Edwards.
Interesting that Twa is matched up against Edwards.
Twa kicks it out top. Virginia's shot followed and another chance created as Miller was able to get the long rebound.
Surprised the ball hadn't gone into Taylor, and right on cue.
Well, they knew you were looking for it, but same story in terms of being able to knock it home. Virginia unable to take the lead on this trip.
Taylor Brown's done a good job of keeping Cameron Taylor from getting the basketball for the most part.
Well, and Stack was calling desperately for it right there. Did you see her inside? It ends up going into the grasp of Doring, and it's Doring who lays it home.
Doring, another senior, a veteran team. She opted out of last season, but she has come back and played really well in her senior year.
A couple of players from New Jersey on the squad. That senior, one of them. Listed at 5'11". St. John Vanny there in New Jersey. This is cleaned by Edwards. American back up the floor. One possession lead this time around, and that is blocked. Lawson was right there waiting. Looking out front. Edwards able to get up and disrupt the pass, though, and American takes it back as quickly.
Back and forth with the turnovers.
Yeah,
American runs a fun offense to watch. A lot of back cuts, a little Princeton-like, but still, again, designed to get three-point shots or drives all the way to the rim.
Those turnover numbers, the ones that are climbing right now. You said it, Coach. 6 combined between these teams with just under 3.5 remaining in the opening period. Little separation there, and knocking it down is Twa. First bucket of the night for Twa.
It won't be the last. She has been playing consistently the best, especially on the offensive end for Virginia.
Twa, who averages 12.7. She, alongside Taylor, the two averaging in double figures for UVA. Gathered up, but the shot a little too strong. Back of the iron for Fisher this time. 5 for Doring, 3 for Brown on the American side of things. That's how the 1-point advantage has been built by the crew out of D.C.
It's a good program. Bucknell, Lehigh are some of the contenders in the Patriot League, but American thinks they can be right there with those two teams.
Yeah, Lehigh the favorite, and I think you look no further than the last 3 contests at home. And been heavily involved for American in the early going here, and Bresch is there to pull down the board with a half-minute remaining in the opening period.
Good execution on that baseline out of bounds, but couldn't finish with the contesting of the shot down low.
Trying to get something quickly with the shot clock having wound all the way down to just a few seconds. Obviously it is off now, as American will have the last possession if they want it. Down the left side of the lane, and the last possession may turn into 3. And it takes until the final possession, Coach, for Edwards to get into the scorebook tonight. That is her first basket of the contest. She knocks down the and-one opportunity as well. This is a player who, as we said, averages right at 14 points per game. She has the final 3 of the period for an American team.
Seconds without a point, and then makes a huge play right at the end of the first quarter.
That 3-point play pushing the lead to 6, and American with the basketball.
Kayla Henning in at point guard now, replacing Emily Fisher for American. This
is a team we talked about them trying to make a little bit of school history here tonight. 8-15 all-time against the 15 teams that currently comprise the ACC. And down the right side of the lane, there is Henning. Her first points of the night to start the quarter.
We haven't seen many easy baskets. That was one. The C's parted on the defense right now. That would not please Coach Thompson.
Another of the players from Illinois on this roster. Interesting, nobody from Virginia, despite being right there in the D.C. area, but Illinois well represented. Pennsylvania, makeup of this roster for American. Answer for UVA is there. Lawson, who had the big block for UVA in the first period, comes away with a point.
Also
this time down the floor.
Henning. Austin posted up Henning on that possession, had the size advantage, took her down low.
Yeah, ended up too deep underneath the bucket, and now here's Edwards out top, but picking up a foul. First time she's been whistled for one.
Transfer from Brown, hadn't really gotten going. She's a really good shooter, just hasn't really gotten into any kind of flow on the offensive end for Virginia yet this season.
Twa tied up with Henning there for a moment, and then off the screen, the three ball is a little too deep. And Virginia now in transition. We mentioned that most recent contest between these two teams, it was the only win, and that's going to be offensive.
Big offensive foul right there. Taylor came across, tried to post up, and pushed off a little bit too much against Lauren Stack, trying to defend her down low. That's a big, big foul.
So for not having a lot of whistles in that first period, Coach, they're really starting to mount for Virginia here in the early stages of the second. Wide open and calling for the basketball underneath is Stack, but this pass a little too. And it'll be Lawson to bring it up the floor. Lawson with 5 points to lead the group out there for Virginia right now. Clarkson gives way back to her. Everything's sealed off nicely by American here. And another turnover as it's thrown away and into the first row.
There, and then a miscommunication.
Here's Henning, already the one basket since settling into that role here in the second. To shoot for American. Nice pass, but stepping in there to take it away was Bristol. And we get another whistle here.
Player control foul number 14, Hayden Lawson.
Well, Mac, one of the things that we talked about, that third scorer needed, you know what you're going to get for the most part from Twa and Taylor. Here's how it has gone in terms of who is going to step up among those next tier players across the way already this season.
Yeah, and you see no consistency, but you see more and more people capable of doing that, fulfilling that third scorer role, if you will.
And I know you believe that that is the real question mark that Virginia must answer. If the defense comes alongside with that third scorer emerging, all of a sudden you're looking at a different Virginia team going into ACC play, especially when you have nights like tonight with the two fouls having already been picked up and Taylor sidelined momentarily because of it.
Yeah, and Taylor's had some foul trouble in different games. We mentioned that GW, and of course she's on the bench pretty early here in the second quarter tonight.
Who's down 6 as they come up the floor with it. They looked at Twa in this moment, and Twa's three rolls off, but a second chance coming for UVA. Clark's up beautifully.
Doing work down low. The transfer from Florida State has really been active. Even when she doesn't get a lot of stats, she's been an impact on the game as Valladay picks up where she left off the other night at GW.
Yeah, banks it off, and for Valladay, she now becomes the latest of the Virginia scorers, lead to 4. Trying to answer on the other end from beyond the arc. When all is said and done, it's Lawson with it. I mentioned the tight contest between these two teams the last time they played, as the foul is going to be. The coach is going to say the previous meeting between these two teams that we highlighted, the last one here in Charlottesville, the win in Washington, 69-67. The lone win in the 5 contests between these two teams on the American side. Looking a lot like they have a mind toward picking up a first on the road in this series with the way they performed now in a quarter plus. The lead grows back to 6 with that trip down the floor and the layup by Doring, who has been so good early.
Playing with a lot of confidence. Jade Edwards forced that turnover. You saw her draw a charge earlier. That's why she's on the all-defensive team, too. We talked about it, how good.
Women's basketball and men's basketball, a doubleheader for you on Friday. Alyssa Kinane, second-ranked NC State in Pitt to take on the Panthers at 6 Eastern. Then the Louisville men hosting undefeated DePaul at the KFC Yum Center. Both games on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. And speaking of Doring with the 7, not content to leave it there, she now has double figures as she knocks down a tray. What a factor she has been for American tonight, Coach.
Yeah, and they're 5 out of 8 from 3. They've been struggling all year. Cannot get the ball in the basket, 23%. But Coach says, we're making them in practice. We need to keep shooting them. And tonight, they're making them against Virginia.
Doring averages 6 per game, and from beyond the arc, 28% on the year. But 4 of 8 from the field, and she has hit 2 of those threes in 3 attempts for American tonight. And that lost out of bounds. American once again.
Yep.
Chance to go up by double figures. That's 4 Virginia turnovers in the last 4.5, and it's led to a scoring drought as well of up over 2 minutes now for UVA.
9 turnovers.
Now that was an early story that has just continued to trend that direction. 9 turnovers for UVA, 7 turnovers for American, but they've been able to overcome that thanks to the 3 ball as you get another look at the contact underneath.
Yeah, if you're going to turn it over, go to the other end and force one, and Emily Johns called for the charge.
Now back into the grasp of Miller again. Wide open lane for Twa, and she lays it off the glass.
Alea Parker attracted a lot of attention that time, and Twa with a beautiful cut down the middle of the lane. Parker doing a nice job of getting to the ball.
Twa with 4, so that her first of the second period, which is now inside 4 minutes. Boy, the defense collapsing quickly to the basketball there. Able to turn away what looked like it might be that 9 of 20 in terms of field goals to this point overall for American. And here's Twa with the steal. She'll use her speed out front. Another lay-in for Twa, who is heating up a bit here. And with that, Virginia closes the gap to 24-19.
Both the last 2 baskets came after turnovers.
That'll roll off. This time, Parker has the rebound. And the better of the Virginia runs we've seen thus far in the contest, coming at right around the 3-minute mark here. And there's that hustle play again. Able to get back and disrupt was Valladay. Huge for Virginia. Twa has it straight taken away by Doring. Well, we talked so much about Doring's play from a scoring standpoint tonight, Coach. There was her defense ability on display as well.
Yeah, another versatile defender too, who can guard just about anybody.
Doring leading all scorers with 10. Beautiful job getting to the back door by Johns, and she's able to lay it home.
And a beautiful pass. Edwards told her to go back door and then threw a beautiful pass right there.
Johns, another one of those New Jersey natives. We talked about the state of New Jersey being well represented on this roster. She's from Washington Township, and her sophomore campaign averages just over a bucket a night, and has herself in the scorebook here. That rolled everywhere but down as Pitts put it up. And it'll now be Americans once again.
Virginia's had some balls right on the rim that just won't go down.
Now Virginia 8 of 22 from
between the 2 of them, with 2 minutes yet left here in the first half. If someone will just take care of the basketball, they'll have a really good chance to.
60% shooter. And knocks this one down as the lead grows just a bit. Completely different narrative for American. The last time up, they withstood an 11-0 run from Radford. Bounced all the way back to pick up a 10-point win over the Highlanders.
Yeah, they gave up an 11-0 run to start the game and then came back with a 10-0 run of their own. Force the action a little bit.
Well, we remind you that we'll have a full day of basketball for you on. And then it's Hubert Davis and the Tar Heel men hosting Elon. That taking place at the Dean Smith Center in Chapel Hill. All games also available on the ESPN app, one tap. Trying to put the lead back at double digits and able to do so effectively. As American scores quickly. You said it, beautiful possession for American.
Emily Fisher with the penetration, drew the defense and found the open teammate right at the front of the rim.
3rd assist for Fisher as Brown is able to lay the bucket home. And then it's grabbed away by Doring, who's been in the thick of everything in this first half.
She really has been all over the place on both ends of the floor.
Now here's Fisher, who had that Beautiful pass the last time down, weighing her options with just over a minute to play. 10 for Doring, 5 for Brown, 4 for Fisher, 3 for Edwards. The scoring for this group that is on the floor right now, only Bresch without a bucket. That would have been one from distance, but the whistle negates it before it can be drained. It'll be Virginia's with 55 to play. Now, who's trying to close out the half strong, a half in which they have trailed American the majority of the way? Virginia's scoring drought at the moment sits at over 2.5 minutes.
Coach Thompson would like to make a little run here, cut this lead down a little bit from double figures, get a little momentum going into the locker room.
Virginia team that came into this contest after a 60-44 win over William & Mary and a 62-53 win on the road at Georgia.
Bailey Garby that time on the hard closeout forced the walk.
Coach, that's 3 Virginia turnovers in the last 2:57. And for this first half, that is 12 turnovers for UVA.
Yeah, too many empty possessions.
Down in the final seconds. 4 seconds separation or so between closer to.
Yeah, look for Twa to try to make something happen on this possession off the bounce. Matched up against Jade Edwards.
Is Virginia's leading scorer on the floor with 6 in the game. Twa gets tangled up with Doring underneath. Able to somehow create another chance for Virginia and lay it back home is Pitts, and she draws the foul.
It's a crazy possession. Pitts ends up with the ball, sticks it back in, and gets fouled in a nice way to go to the locker room for Coach Thompson's Cavs.
Yeah, potentially going to get 3 off of this final trip down the floor when it looked like it was going to go for naught. And Pitts is able to capitalize on the chance, and Virginia cuts it to 7. Opposite Twa, who you saw coming to life a bit defensively in that second period. We'll see if she can build upon that as we're underway in the third quarter. Virginia with Clarkson looking for options out top, and now Twa fits it into Taylor. Remember, Taylor picking up the couple of early fouls, so she's back on the floor for Virginia now after being limited. And hey, on cue, she gets in the thick of things right away for UVA in the third.
What a good play. She gave the ball up from a double team and got it back and knocked the 15-footer down. A really smart play by Cameron Taylor to start the second half.
Shows you why, Coach, Virginia must keep Taylor on the floor.
She is extremely valuable.
And too much on it from Valladay. She tried to work into the basket, and here in transition goes Fisher. And that pass off the fingertips, and Virginia getting the whistle. Look at Twa in the thick of it once more as a solid spurt for Virginia to begin things in the first minute of the third is underway.
Twa is such a good defender, a good on-ball defender, quick, but she's willing to give up her body right there, steps in on a point guard coming the length of the floor.
Fisher turning it over there as the work of Twa creates a chance for Virginia to get this back to one possession again. Remember, this was right there at double figures before Virginia's final possession of the half. Virginia, without that three-point possession at the end of the half, would not have been in position to close things up this tight right away. So go back, tuck that away in the back of your mind. The way Virginia closed the first half, Coach, and has started the second half, so key. And here's the first real answer from American as Stack lays home her first points of the night.
Yeah, another assist by Edwards, a really good play. She was double teamed down on the block and found the open player.
Rolls off the far side as Taylor tried to pick up a second ball.
Been willing to share the basketball, and they've done it effectively.
After the 11 seconds put back on the game clock, where the clock had continued to run following the foul call. Back to basketball. This Virginia team down the floor with it. We're on the doorstep of making it a one-possession game right out of the gate here in the third quarter. And they work it back inside to Taylor once again. Lost the handle, but it stays with UVA and Miller. And now Twa, little fake to create an opening, and then she knocks it down.
She shows some new move almost every single game. We've seen her shoot the three. We've seen her not make any threes and still score 20 points. Beautiful, patient move right there in the lane that time.
Twa coming to life. She's now a basket shy of double figures. She has 8 for Virginia. Also a trio of assists for Twa in the contest. And a 3 from the far side. It's going to rim off, and Valladay has it. Top, wide open look. Taylor, you got to take that, front of the rim, but it's rebounded by Clarkson. The possession continues for Virginia. And Twa out top to Valladay.
Clarkson again contributing.
Turn around for Taylor, and she finds the back of the iron. So Virginia unable to get the shot to go down. And it's going to hold steady at 5, that lead for American.
Clarkson again, making her presence known on both ends of the floor with the little things.
Clarkson still looking for her first basket tonight, but you said it, 3 rebounds already having been notched. She also has an assist and a steal.
Taking a couple charges.
And in battling to find some room in the paint. Virginia player alongside Taylor, who we were discussing just a moment ago, who is at the line now in double figures. Taylor averaging 14 points.
I like the fact
5
that
this evening.
Like the fact that she went to the basket that time. Even though she was double teamed, she attacked the basket. Get to the free throw line. Even if you don't score the basket, get to the free throw line. The 10th leading scorer in the Atlantic Coast Conference.
Well, and you can see how much of a difference it's made for Virginia that she's been able to play the majority of this third period after having to sit for a while with a couple of fouls in the second quarter. As she has come along and been a factor, Virginia is now within a basket again. One possession contest. The lead hacks up the third here in the middle stages of the third quarter. So it's going to be a troublesome spot for Virginia again, with Taylor picking up
on the drive, but then got in a little bit of trouble reaching against Fisher. But you know, she didn't play but a few minutes in that first half, and here she is in the bench after 4 minutes again in the second half.
And Fisher, who is a 60% free throw shooter, knocks down the latest of her 4 tonight, 3 of 4 from the line. And the lead grows back to 2 possessions at 5 for American.
Leah Parker now going to get a little time in for Taylor. Parker's had some good moments, just hasn't been able to stay on the floor very long.
Parker with 4.3 per contest. And it appeared, as you said, in 9 games for Virginia. And there's a bucket for UVA. They find a way to get right here, Coach. Just haven't been able to pull even with American since the first quarter. And now a foul. I thought size and length, certainly the key pieces for UVA in terms of trying to hold off the charge.
Yeah, it really has. And the Americans done a really good job of collapsing, especially on Taylor, and making her give the ball up. And Virginia hasn't been able to utilize that size. Taylor's effective plays, other than the last one where she went to the rim and got to the free throw line, have been away from the basket, which is a win for American on the defensive end.
Yeah, and when you shoot it the way they did from beyond the arc in that first half as well, doesn't make much of a difference. Speaking of beyond the arc, Twa tries one from there, but it's off the far side. Okay, Virginia able to clean it up inside. Parker puts it back. There's the first basket of the night for Parker, freshly into the contest a moment ago.
Has had limited minutes, but that was a big basket right there to cut the lead to 2.
So this is closest Virginia's been. Have been down to 1 possession. Here the second half, they have it to 2 now, and that'll grow it right back to 5. And there's the 3 ball again for American as Garubo knocks it home.
Holly Garubo off the bench. Again, Coach Gebbia called it. She said she's really playing well.
She's out of Washington, but Washington, Pennsylvania. And continuing to fight inside.
Out there, and well, you saw what she's capable of on these last 2 possessions. Big contributions right there.
Well, ends up missing the free throw, but the high expectations that followed her throughout go all the way back to 18, was the Ivy League Rookie of the Year for the way she introduced herself in that conference. But you said it, looking to find her own here for Virginia, and finding their own from beyond the arc tonight. Here's Garubo with a 3 now, and that's the latest of 7 3-point baskets. This is a team shooting 58% from three-point land after shooting in the low 20s through the first 7 games of the season, this American squad.
Yeah, DeRubo, the transfer from Fordham, showing you what she can do.
Laid home underneath with the trio of fouls that were picked up by Taylor.
And she had a couple big plays against William and Mary too, and you could see the confidence growing in her, and it's nice to see her get that opportunity again here tonight against American.
Ends up missing everything on that free throw, so here comes American up the floor with it. American holding Virginia somewhat at arm's length. Who's had it down to 3? We're able to incrementally work it to 2. Went back up to 3, and now a 2-possession contest again, and the lead grows a little more as that lived on the rim for a while before dropping.
Yeah, Emily Johns, the sophomore, she's known for playing closer to the rim, but really nice touch on that 10-footer from the baseline.
4 points for Johns tonight, also has a steal. And just 5 minutes or so of action for American. Turnaround there. Everything else had been falling for Parker. She should try that as well.
Out there now, other than Clarkson, who can play on the perimeter. Very small lineup for Virginia. We'll see how this works for them.
From the line, last couple for Virginia off the mark. This is a Virginia team that shoots 58% from the charity stripe on the year, unable to take advantage of those last few chances. Fisher, we highlighted alongside Edwards a moment ago. They work back and forth with one another. Shot clock still in double digits, now down to 9. They work it back inside, and it is laid home by Johns. Couple of baskets for Johns on the American side of things.
Yeah, and this time American had the size advantage, and Johns was calling for that basketball. She wanted it down low and did a really nice job of getting good position.
And having quietly built the lead back to 8. Virginia needing a basket after going check that after seeing American.
Bart play by Emily Johns.
6 points for Johns. Everybody on the floor right now, major contributors for American. DeRubo with 9. Leading that grouping. Fisher now having put together a 7-point night, and that's without the player we've highlighted for the most part, Maddie Doring, who was the first in double figures on either side tonight. Here's another whistle and a charge taken.
Nice help side defense. Emily Fisher in perfect position.
As Miller picks up one here. Inside the final 2 minutes of the third quarter. A third quarter that started with Virginia narrowing the gap, and now American has pulled back out front and done so by double digits again with the latest of the threes.
How about that? Fisher takes the charge on one end, makes the big 3 on the other end.
8 of 13 from beyond the arc, shooting upwards of 60% tonight, this American squad from three-point land.
And Emily Johns off the bench contributing again.
And here's Edwards with a head of steam to the other end of the floor, lays it home.
And she has to thank Taylor Brown. Taylor Brown sealed the defense off, allowing Edwards to get all the way to the rim.
It's now a 9-0 run for an American team that has pulled back in a sizable fashion in front of Virginia. 12-2 run over the last 3 minutes for American. And a scoring drought for UVA that sits at 236, and it's going to stay there as this is rebounded away by Brown.
Big spurt by American, and most of it started on the defensive end.
And it came after Virginia had pulled within a couple. The lead down to 2 points in this third quarter in the middle stages.
34 to 32.
That's when America found a difference. And look at the trouble beginning to mount. Look up at the scoreboard after this run, which, as we said, even before the free throws, sat at 12-2 and 9-0 across the last 3.5 and nearly 3 respectively. And American has eclipsed 50 and built its largest lead of the night.
With balanced scoring.
18 of 34. This is a team shooting up over 50% on the whole tonight, in addition to 8 of 13 from three-point land. Down the left side, a basket that Virginia desperately needed.
Nice
and a little slow coming back up the floor there. Did you notice that, Coach?
Yeah, she tweaked that ankle a little bit. looked like an ankle. She was hobbling a little bit right after she laid the ball up.
Henning was running the point for American there. They tried to get it to Edwards underneath. It's a quarter in which they outscored UVA 22-16 already.
Emily Johns setting the screen right there, trying to free up Jade Edwards on the backside. Got called for the offensive foul.
So it'll be Virginia with length of the floor to go at 2.7 on the third quarter game clock. Johns giving way now. She heads to that American bench. And just before time, 26 made threes on the year for American in 111 attempts ahead of tonight. And again, shooting far better from beyond the arc in this one and holding a sizable advantage while making a bid to defeat a Power 5 foe on the road for the very first time in school history. And down the lane to add a couple more is Brown. Beautifully executed on the first possession of the period for American.
And another assist by Jade Edwards. She's not scoring, but she sure is contributing to this lead.
Just 5 points for Edwards, who averages 14 per contest.
But 8 assists.
But you said it, the assists have been the difference maker, and 7 rebounds for Edwards. So 7 rebounds, 8 assists having been her key tonight. Twa swings this far side and trying to beat the horn.
And another rebound by Edwards.
Was Lawson just trying to beat the shot clock there, the reason for the heave, and you said it. Edwards now 8 rebounds to go alongside those 8 assists.
She may get a double-double without doing it in points.
She's used to the double-double. I don't know how many times it's come in that variety.
No.
Down the left side is Twa, and she will lay it home for UVA.
And Twa's got to get going. Taylor's got to get going. They're the two that have to step up on the offensive end for the Cavaliers right now.
Brought up the floor by Henning, who's in the latter stages of the third and now here in the beginning of the fourth, running the point for American. Boy, holding a 13-point advantage. Series that historically had seen some tight contests. This one not that right now, but here's contact on contributions she's made. That's the first time she's been whistled for a foul. As much defense as she has played for American tonight, and is solidly.
Good point, partner. That's amazing.
And the free throw knocked down by Valladay. So Valladay from the charity stripe, 2 of 4 in this one. And Virginia right back there where with a stop and a bucket, coach, they could have it to single digits again.
Yeah, got to get things going.
But Edwards trying to be a difference maker. That's front of the iron, and here's Virginia in that spot now.
Only her 5th field goal attempt of the game.
Well, with 8 assists, she's along the way tonight. That's into Twa, and they're going to whistle Twa for the traveling violation.
That's happened.
Here comes the inbound from Brown. So American trying to keep it steady. A tremendous run down the stretch in the third quarter for American that put them in position to try and, as we said, make a little history for this squad tonight. And this is a team, coach, they expect to exceed what was the preseason rankings that were put together in the Patriot League. They believe with everybody coming back and some of the players' ceilings and the ability to emerge, that they were going to be in position to really make some noise. Lehigh the favorite there, but American thinking they were certainly going to make a bid in the Patriot League this year.
Yeah, Bucknell and Lehigh have been the 2 teams, but American's been right there, and they.
For all the talk that was there about Edwards coming in, as Twa knocks one down for Virginia, a number of these players, Doring, Brown, on down the line, really making a difference for American. And there's Twa, Virginia needing her to make a difference in this fourth quarter. And the answer on the other end, speaking of those peripheral players for American that have been huge tonight, comes from DeRubo. 12 points for her and another 3-ball, the 9th of the game for American.
DeRubo, she only had 31 on the whole season. She's got 12 tonight.
12 for DeRubo, and she is 4 of 5 from three-point land. This inside, Valladay keeps her footing, lays home a Virginia basket, but coach, right now they're trading 2 for 3 more often than not.
Yeah, and Virginia right back to the man-to-man. They didn't want to see any more of that zone.
9 threes in just 14 tries for American. Big time cut for DeRubo.
Good rotation that time on the.
Goes into Brown. Brown going to drive down the baseline, kick it out, and freshly into the game. Fisher thought she'd try her hand out. By the way, had hit a couple of the 9 threes already for American. 4-3 from beyond the arc is Fisher tonight. And that's going to go against UVA. So a call against Taylor here. And, you know, she has been limited already with the 3 fouls picked up, 2 in the first half, the 1 in the third quarter. And this is going to serve to further limit her ability to become a factor in this game, Coach.
She had that chicken wing out there, took that right arm and pushed off. And sure enough, she's only played 17 minutes in this game. That's not enough for Virginia to be consistently good. She has to be on the floor and contribute.
As Taylor has once again found her way into a difficult foul situation.
Nice
Comes Virginia up the floor with it. Again in position to try and get this thing right back around 10 with an eternity left. Still 5.5 minutes to go in the basketball game. Why not a Virginia 3? Rims out and will be cleaned up by Edwards. Virginia, in contrast, we've talked so much about the way the 3 ball has fallen for American tonight. Virginia 1 of 9 from beyond the arc.
Yeah, that's tough in this day and age. The 3 ball is so important. Speaking of.
Yeah, Johns on cue. Has one of her own. That's the first 3 for Johns, and it's the 10th 3 for American in 16 tries in the game.
Johns was 0 for 3 coming into tonight.
Now 1 for 1. Picked her spot on a night where everybody else is seeing the 3 ball work. I mean, think about it. 4 of 5 from DeRubo.
That other folks' floor, you generally don't get many opportunities, but they've got an opportunity here. Although right there, Lawson cuts into the lead by a backdoor cut on the baseline out of bounds. Nice play out of the timeout by Tina Thompson.
Quick inbound. Interestingly enough, Virginia making 4 of its last 5 field goals, but if you just happen to be joining us, American making 10 three-pointers tonight to a single 3 for Virginia. You can see how the separation has been created on the scoreboard as a result. Trying to force it inside. Fisher couldn't keep the foot stabilized. Have that happen again now, obviously. Sorry, Coach, just going to say other storylines as we reset here. Obviously, Taylor with those 4 fouls, which has limited her ability to impact the game for Virginia. And this is tossed back in. Drive by Valladay. That won't go either. UVA looking for a bucket. Mad scramble. 10 assists and 10 rebounds. And also with a couple of steals to her credit, even though she has taken only 6 shots tonight.
She might get the triple-double if she can get 3 more turnovers, too.
Or 5 more points. Plenty of time for that as well.
There is plenty of time for that. She can get them in a hurry.
Brown hands this off, and this is front of the iron from DeRubo. Had made 4 of the 3s tonight. Twa gives that off. Taylor in there, and she's fighting underneath. Will get the bucket and go.
She is pretty much unstoppable if she can catch the ball one-on-one down there. You saw her finish the 3-point play right there. Beautiful play by Cameron Taylor.
She's also made all 3 of her free throws tonight and is 1 point shy of double figures despite being very limited in action. 9 points for Taylor.
She just got to have stops.
And that contested by Taylor. You don't see any throttling back right there for a player with 4 fouls. Goes completely after it, remains in the game. And here's American, front of the iron on the toss by Fisher. And now this whistle going to receive a nice clap. Virginia has this thing to 10, and the fans here at JPJ now getting in behind the Hoos, knowing this is the time with just under 3 to play.
Now, that may be a shooting foul. I'm not sure if that's an offensive foul. It was kind of a bang-bang play.
Obviously 5 whistles against American prior, so
it was a possession foul, so the ball will be out of bounds.
Will be the inbound, and the total at 6, just 2 for Virginia.
Plenty of time left
against the Hoos to this point, despite the foul scenario we talked about with Taylor. You said it, though. Now's the time. 3 minutes, just under 3 minutes to play. Boy, just able to get that pass made. Clarkson before she moved that foot. And they continue to work it down low to Taylor, who is in double figures and has Virginia with now just a single-digit deficit with that bucket.
What a difference she has made
in such a short period of time tonight. Here's Edwards.
Wow, on Edwards. What a great matchup right there. Great defender, a great offensive player.
Edwards, who has just the 5 points tonight, but has been a contributor in so many other areas. Fisher trying to get close to the basket. She nearly threw that up.
A really good play.
Here's Fisher, who makes right at 60% of her. Make it 6 of 8. And she extends the lead back to 10 at the 2-minute mark. Fisher with 12, by the way. 12 for Fisher, 12 for DeRubo, 11 for Brown, and you know what Doring did early. Shot from distance for Taylor here. That one will not go, but Valladay runs down a must-have rebound for UVA. Twa back to Valladay, but it's lost out and will belong to American.
To single digits.
Yeah, it felt like such a critical possession for UVA there, Coach.
That was, and this is, they must have a stop right here. And American's going to be very patient. They may take this whole shot clock.
Under 90 seconds to play, still 12 to shoot. They have it in Edwards' hands, the preseason player of the year in the Patriot League. She has been the distributor tonight. Coach told you double-double in assists and rebounds. Tried to score, maybe more than anything else, tried to beat the shot clock in the end.
But what a night she has had.
And interestingly enough, no field goals for American in the last 4 minutes plus, but able to make enough free throws, able to contest enough of Virginia's run to stay out front by 10 with a minute to play. Stop and pop, top of the key, won't go. Clarkson gathers it back up, and she will draw the foul.
Keeping Taylor from getting the basketball. The couple times she has gotten it, she's been very effective, but they've always got a man in them once she catches the basketball.
Clarkson, who came in 6 of 19 on the year from the free throw line. She will get this one to be at the class of the league, and that'll be on December 30th. But right now, all minds toward 40 more seconds.
Yeah, and they're scheduled. Towson and Longwood are expected to be contenders in their league. And Virginia almost had to put them on the free throw line right there.
Brown, still 17. Obviously on that shot clock, they're trying to use as much of it as they can. Play keep away from Virginia. Counted upon in the third quarter, and then eventually we'll see her foul out here in the final half minute. Was one of the reasons that Virginia was limited. And
it didn't hurt them again at George Washington, but it definitely did here tonight.
The other thing that you're going to walk away from tonight talking about with the way things are trending for the floor, those are a couple of things that are your takeaways for tonight that must happen as they head toward conference play, Coach.
Oh, another good out of the timeout. Another good
down the stretch. And they're going to put Clarkson in a position that she will commit her 5th foul.
League.
That's been the story, the three-point opportunities. We've given you American's number built for American, but for Virginia, just 1 of 9 from beyond the arc tonight. Need another here. His time is, and the Patriot League for that matter. This is inbound, going to roll off the fingertips of Parker, and a shot going to be fired from the corner by Dale, and a rebound away to American, and there's Twa, who is going to pick up.
She was going to score 5 points and American would have a chance to win. I would have probably said you were crazy.
She's going to need a few trips to the free throw line to get to that trip and rebound total. 6 points for Edwards, and continues to climb that total just a bit with her. Quick inbound, going to create the three-point opportunity. You never know when one of these late game scenarios may have that one shot.
Got a wide open three-point shot.
The one thing Virginia has here is a bit of a gap between now, and you look at the way the schedule breaks down, to play this game on this 7th night of December, not play again until the 19th, there'll be a lot of preparation. American withstood it. They then pulled away, and they're going to have a sizable margin on a night when American ends up shooting 10 threes in 17 tries, 59